everyone, Kendall here with Lassie Lama Creations. Today we're going to be making a crochet bear. You're going to notice this video is going to be a little different than all the others because I'm in the middle of a move. I'm currently moving to a different state, so my setup is all different. I'm on my kitchen counter instead of my desk, and it's just all a little different right now. To make this a little easier on myself, because I wanted to make sure I was still going slow enough for a good tutorial, I'm going to insert different clips from different tutorials how to make the bear. So for example, when I'm talking about the body, you're gonna see it's in purple yarn. That's because I used the clips from the monster. And then, I'm gonna use the clips from the axolotl for the arms and so forth, and kind of like assembling it all together. Don't forget, if you're following from my subscription kits, you have a full PDF pattern included with this. I highly recommend printing out that pattern just so you can follow along with the video and making sure you're not missing any of the steps. I do apologize, this video is a little messy. It was not ideal, but the move came up a little sooner than I was expecting, and I just want to make sure you guys still got a tutorial that was nice and slow and explained every step. I would hate to rush through something I didn't mean to. So for this bear, you're going to be needing a dark tan yarn, a light tan yarn, it's just a brown, light brown, dark brown, doesn't matter, 10mm safety eyes, stuffing, 5mm crochet hook, stitch markers, tapestry needle, and scissors. I'm also using a random color as a bow tie. In the video, I think I'm going to be pulling that footage from the ghost, which is neon orange. So depending on your kit, you just got a different color, but that's going to be the color for the little bow tie. You can also sew the bow up here if you wanted to put it in the ear instead of a bow tie. All right, let's jump into the tutorial.
Our magic ring, which is going to be like the start of our crochet piece, the top of our monster head, and kind of goes to the bottom. I have my purple yarn and I have my tail right here. Tail, the cut end, whatever is the end of the yarn. The rest is attached to that ball or that skein. I'm going to take it and wrap it around my hand to form an X. I'm then going to go under, over, and I'm going to scoop it through, twisting it up and taking it off my hand. And then doing a chain, which is when you place the yarn on top of your hook and pull through the loop. So I place the yarn on top and pull through. This is a magic ring, but I'll show it to you again. I have my tail and I want to wrap around to form an X, hold in the middle, under, over, scoop it through, I pinch like right on top just so I can pull it off my hand. And then do that one chain, which is the yarn on top of the hook, and then pull through. This is our magic ring. And now we're going to put 6 single crochets on the ring. A single crochet is one of the types of stitches that we're going to be doing. It's a really simple crochet stitch and like one of the most basics. It's used all the time in crochet. To start, we're going to insert our hook in the middle of our circle underneath these 2 strands. We're going to do that yarn over of placing the yarn on top of the hook and then pulling through so that you have 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through both. And this is a single crochet. We're going to do this 5 more times. So I'm going to insert in the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. That was number 3. So we're going to do 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can kind of look at each one, it looks like this little V. And those are stitches. I'm then gonna pull this tail and form a ring. And now we finished our magic ring, which is round 1 of our pattern. We're gonna be working in a spiral, so we're just gonna keep on going and making our circles bigger. But to know where the start and the end is of our circle, I'm gonna put in my stitch marker, which is that safety pin looking thing. And I'm gonna put it in the very last stitch that I made. For round 2, it says increase 6 times. An increase is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Right now we have 6 single crochets. By the end of the next round, we'll have 12 because we're putting 2 in each one. So I'm still working the same direction. I'm going to insert my hook into that very first stitch that I made. First one's always tight. It's not you, it's the crochet. I like to wiggle, you saw me pull it with my fingers to get my hook in it. Completely normal, it's always tight. I'm making sure I go under both of the loops of the stitch. And then I'm going to make a single crochet. And then before we move on, I'm going to insert my hook into the same stitch, which on round 1 was that very first single crochet we made, and make a second single crochet. It's like right next to each other. They're like little BFFs now. And then we can keep on moving around and go into the next one. We're going to repeat the same thing. So insert, single crochet, insert again. That was our second. We're going to do this for the whole round. All right, 2 more increases. For our last one, I'm going to take out my stitch marker, set it to the side, do my increase, and then put my stitch marker back in at the end of the next round, the round we just finished, and that last stitch we made. And that was round 2. You can see our circle's a little bigger now. For the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So in the next stitch we're going to do 1 increase, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we'll do the increase. So it's like a little series of 3. One, and then increase. So again, next stitch, we're just going to do 1. Next one, increase. So it's like 1, double, 1, double. Doing this for the whole round. You're going to find with crochet, it is very repetitive. There's a lot of patterns in it. It's a lot of doing the same thing, which is nice because once you feel comfortable with your single crochet, this is going to be pretty easy peasy for you. That's my increase. 1, then an increase. My last sequence, we're going to do 1, take out the marker, do the increase. Put the marker back in. Do not forget the marker. It's very important. Boom, look at that. Next, you're going to start seeing this pattern form. Instead of doing 1 single crochet and then an increase, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. But 2 single crochets are different than an increase. It's going to be 1, 1, and then an increase. So it's like a series of 4. So 1 single crochet, another single crochet in the next stitch, and then an increase. One, one, double. All the way around. 1, 1, double. 1, 1, double. 1, 1, double. 1, 1, double. Last one. 1, 1. Remove the marker. Increase. Putting the marker back in. The next round is going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase, which is starting to make sense, right? This is what's making our circle grow bigger a little more evenly. Mine kind of curls up a little bit. That's okay. If you notice yours is like pointed like this, your stitches are probably too tight. So you might want to work on loosening your stitches. Tension is something that just comes with time. It's your first project. It is no big deal. You will learn, you will get better. Best part about this monster, if it's looking a little different, who cares? It's a monster. If it was a pointed head, that makes sense because it's a monster. I purposely designed my beginner patterns and kits so that there can be mistakes in it and it's no big deal. Next round, 3 single crochets and then our increase. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. We're going to do this for the whole round. Increase. Last one, taking out the marker and increase. And putting the marker back in. Why? Because it's important. If you forget the marker, you're just going to keep on going around and around, and it's very annoying and very frustrating to figure out what you did wrong. So just put the marker back in, get in that really good habit. The next round is going to be our last round of increases. If we went 1 single crochet, then an increase, and then 2 single crochets and an increase, and then 3 single crochets and then an increase, I bet you can guess the next round, which you are correct. It'll be 4 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. Go ahead and do this for the whole round, and don't forget to put that marker back. Doing my last increase. And this is as wide as our piece is going to get, but it doesn't look like a monster. because we need it to form the body like that. Show you a trick. Instead of putting your stitch marker in the last stitch like that, I'm actually going to put it on the side. Oh, sorry, it's a little blurry. On the side of my stitch. Because for the next 10 rounds, we're going to be placing 1 single crochet in every stitch. So that means no increases, no nothing, just 1, 1, 1. At the end of each round, you should have an equal number of stitches as you did the round before. So I'm just going around, I'm putting 1 stitch into each one, 1-to-1 ratio. I'm going to do this for 1 round, and I'll show you what we're going to do with our marker. My cat Peanut has joined us. She loves when I film videos. It's seriously like the highlight of her week whenever I sit down to do this. Thank you so much, Peanut. So here's my marker. I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to continue crocheting around it. Goodness, Peanut. Yep, she is here. She loves this. I don't know what it is. When I make a video, she has to be a part of it. So leaving this marker here, we're going to keep on going around for 10 rounds. Round, around, around. You don't have to move this. Just look at it and kind of line it up as you go around. You're going to be able to see, looking up, this is 1 round, and then you'll do this for 10. And then I'll show you how to close your piece. I'm going to hop off camera, and we're just going to do 1 single crochet in every single stitch for a total of 10 rounds. Now we're starting to see it take a shape, huh? It wasn't that nice to not have to move the stitch marker every time. You have to move the stitch marker every time when you're doing things exact, like the increase rounds and what we're about to do, the decrease rounds. But for things with like 1 single crochet in every stitch, it doesn't matter as much if it lines up exact, so you can use that method and look up and go count to 10. That was Peanut. She was excited. Now to close our body and kind of finish it up, I'm going to remove my stitch marker and I'm going to put it in the last stitch I made. If you're ever wondering, Kendall, why don't you kick out your cats when you're filming? It's because I have barn-style sliding doors and my cats can open them. It's very annoying and I can't lock them out anywhere, which is why I do it during their nap time, but Peanuts decided to skip nap time today. But it means she'll sleep well tonight. Let's do these decreases. If an increase is 2 single crochets in 1, a decrease is the opposite of combining 2 stitches into 1. We're going to do the opposite of our pattern. So we're going to do a single crochet 4 and then a decrease instead of an increase. So I'm going to crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to do our decrease. I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through just like you would a single crochet, but instead of finishing it off, I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops on your hook. I'm then going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's our decrease. So we're going to repeat this pattern for the whole round. Single crochet 4 and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our decrease. Insert hook, yarn over, pull through, so you have 2. Insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through all 3. Go ahead and do this for the whole round. My last decrease, take out my marker, complete the decrease, put the marker back in. Next round is 3 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, and then our decrease. we'll do this for the round. Just finished the round. I bet you can guess what the next one is. You're going to single crochet 2 and then do a decrease. At the end of this round, I'll show you how to start stuffing. But go ahead and do 2 single crochets and then a decrease. We're going to start stuffing. So I have my stuffing, and the trick is to pull it apart into small clumps and place it in individually. Let me zoom you out a little bit. Oh, there we go. Don't just ball it up and stick it in there. This will make it nice and fluffy. Small clumps, place it in. This, you can kind of shape it and be like, oh, I want it to be perfectly round, so I know I need a little bit more in like this corner. And I'm gonna keep on going until my piece is as stuffed as I like it. Now my monster body is perfectly fluffy. And I'm gonna continue on with my rounds. Next round, 1 single crochet and then a decrease. The round after is 6 decreases. It's gonna be a little tight because now you're stuffing. It's okay if you miss a few. At the end, you should have 6 stitches, but it's okay if you have 7 or 5 or 8, like it's okay. It's the bottom, we will totally fix it. Just try your best to try to get that number. I'm gonna hop off camera to do my last rows because I kind of have to squeeze it and it's kind of awkward. But then I'll show you how to close up the bottom. I'm right at the end. If you want, you could put a little bit more stuffing, like right in the edge. I'm gonna put a little bit, but it's totally okay if you don't want to. If you used all your stuffing, no big deal. Just a little bit, there we go. I wanna cut about 1 foot of yarn, cut it off from my skein, and we're gonna do this thing called fastening off, which is when we're gonna pull our loop so we don't have a loop anymore. I'm gonna put my end on my tapestry needle, my yarn needle, whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna weave in and out of my last few stitches. Then we're gonna pull it tight and close up the bottom. There's a couple different methods of closing the bottom. Doesn't matter whatever way you do it. Whatever gets the job done. I'm gonna pull it tight. I'm gonna place a knot right up to the base. We do not just want to cut our yarn because it will come undone. What we want to do is stick our needle in the body right by the knot and then stick it out anywhere else. I'm then gonna cut it. And now the tail's like stuck inside the body, so it's a lot harder for it to come undone. And now we have a monster body. So for the bear nose, I'm gonna be showing you in this blue yarn just so I have a better contrast on my countertop, but you're gonna be doing it in the same brown that you did the body. So you're gonna start with that magic ring. Don't forget to pause this video and go to the beginning if you're not quite as comfortable with the magic ring. I went step by step, nice and slow in the beginning. On your magic ring, you're gonna place 6 single crochets, exactly like how you started the bear body. 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're gonna do 6 increases, exact same as the bear body. So you'll place 1 increase in every single stitch. An increase is just 2 single crochets in 1. So 1, 2, then moving around. 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now don't forget to use a stitch marker here. I'm just gonna be counting in my head just because it's real small, but for beginners, please, please, please use that stitch marker so you know where your rounds are. The last round of the nose is going to be single crochet 1 stitch in every single stitch. So right now we have 12. So at the end of this round, we'll still have 12. So just place one single crochet in every stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then you'll cut your yarn so you have a nice long tail. I actually made a quick error. You're not going to be doing it in the same brown as the body. You're going to be using the light tan. I was mixing up the ears and the nose, so go ahead and do that in the light tan. And then with the brown, you're going to embroider these little nose marks on him. For the ears, you're going to start the exact same way you did your nose. You're going to do 6 single crochets, then a round of increases, and then a round of 1 single crochet. Now, we're going to do an additional 1 more round of single crochets. 1 single crochet in every stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You'll cut the yarn and you'll make 2 of these ears. Our gills and our arms are going to be made the exact same way. And you already know how to do it because you did it to start the body and the belly. You're going to make 6 in your secondary color and then 2 in the body color. So you're going to make your magic ring, chain 1, and then 6 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull together, and that's it. We'll leave a nice long tail for sewing. Fasten off, and that's how you're going to make the gills and the arms. I have my orange yarn, my instructions, there we go. And we're going to do a small rectangle to make it. So I'm going to make a slip knot, which means I'm going to take the yarn, twist, and pull through. And then insert my hook and pull it down. And we're going to do 6 chains. To do that, we're going to yarn over, pull through. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have this weird little worm looking thing. I'm going to start going the other direction. I'm going to insert my hook not into the one we just made, to the 5th one. Insert your hook and make a single crochet. And then in the next chain, you're going to do the same thing. So you should have 5 single crochets at the end, because we skipped that 6th one. That's 6 chains, so you should only have 5. That was 3, 4, and I need more orange yarn. Oh, there we go. And 5. We get a small rectangle. We're going to do 1 chain, which is our yarn over, pull through, and turn our work. And then we're going to insert your hook under that V, under that stitch. And we're going to do another 5 single crochets. So that was 1. And we're just moving down the row. 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way to the end. Highly recommend counting your stitches because if you skip one, your rectangle's not going to be a rectangle. It's going to turn into like a triangle, weird shaped looking thing. I want to repeat this 2 more times. So our chain and turn, 5 single crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can feel knot in my yarn. There we go. Chain 1, turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're gonna fasten off. Now we have this tiny little rectangle. So you can either sew this middle part in orange, but I think I'm gonna do black. So I'm gonna cut a nice long piece, and I'm gonna put it on my tapestry needle. Okay, I'm gonna place my black string down and then place my rectangle here. Here's my end. Goodness, I cut my piece very long. Place it on. And I'm going to take off my tapestry needle for a second. I'm going to tie a square knot right in the middle. Oh, it looks like a little present. And I'm gonna pull tight. So that was one part, and then I accidentally chose the long tail to pull through. There we go. Pulling tight. Now you can start to see the shape. I'm going to take our long tail and put the needle through. I'm going to wrap this around a little bit. Trying not to get my orange tail stuck, but you can pull those out a little bit later. So I'm going to wrap my middle around. So I'm happy with how it looks. Yeah, I like that. I like to stitch, oh, now the orange needle's not helpful. This is my long tail. I put it underneath my black rows, my black straight lines that we just sewed and wrapped around, just so it doesn't come undone. And then I'm gonna place another square knot with the black tails, because I don't want to come undone. Now we have a little bow. And I want to place it on her head. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I just can't handle it. I'm kind of going to hold the bow. I'm going to stitch through the body and then through the black part of the bow. And then through the body again. You're going to want to do it a few times just so it's nice and secure, especially for the bow on top. If you're like turning it out, see, I'm going to stitch like all the way under so it stays. The bow tie was a little bit easier, but if you're following one of my beginner crochet kits, you have enough yarn to make both. So totally up to you where you want to place the bow tie. Okay, and then see, I don't like that. So I'm going to figure out where I need to stitch it. Pull it up a little bit. Yeah, just like that. It could be a little messy with all these tails. Just be patient with yourself. We're gonna get rid of all those tails in a moment, just not right now. Okay, looks like a little sushi piece or something. And if it gets stuck on anything, just pull it down. Be patient, you're good. For the body again. Oh, and then through the bow. All right, let's see if I like that. I think I do. But to be honest, I think probably after this video I'm gonna cut that off and move it somewhere else. But for right now, I like it. So I'm going to take my black yarn, poke it through the body, and I'm going to actually stick it all the way down here on the bottom. Oh, I lost my needle. There we go. Pull it through. Don't pull it too tight or else it will like shrink the body, you know, like you don't want that. Keep it nice and tall. I want to repeat that with the other black yarn. Through the body and out the bottom. That sounds weird. Then I'm going to cut. You can see it, so I'm just going to poke it through with scissors, and it's gone. A little similar with the orange. Let me switch needles. There we go. So we have blue ones so you can see a little better. Because there's no stuffing on the bow and it's just flat, it can sometimes be a little tricky of hiding your tail. So just go a little slow, and you're just going to be poking it through. I'm going behind the black band. I want to go back down and poke through the body. Here's some close-up of some of the assembly. You're going to place the arms on the sides. I have the nose in the middle of the eyes. I did my embroidery on the nose before I sewed it on. Then I added my arms, and then the ears on top. I like pushed it flat and then made like a little C shape so that it looks more like a bear ear. At the end, you're also going to sew the bow right below the nose. I'm going to insert some footage of assembly from the ghost just so you can see how the bow kind of slides on. And then maybe the axolotls just so you can see like the arms. It's the same technique. It really, at the end of the day, for sewing on pieces, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as your pieces stay and they're where you want them to be. And that's our little quick tutorial for the bear.
Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you were able to make a bear at the end. If you have any questions, concerns, problems, please reach out. I will still, throughout this move, I will still be on my phone, I will still have my email, and of course I can help along the way, no matter what. Thank you so much for your patience through this move. If you've been following me on TikTok, you know this move's been coming up and I've been trying to sell kits and push forward, and I'm so excited it's finally here, but also to have I'm excited for a new filming setup and to be more stable, and it should be a lot better. If you want to stay up to date on all the kits and crafts and everything in between, I highly recommend following us on TikTok at Lousy Llama Creations. That's where I post updates and that's where everything's kind of going on. Again, thank you so much for your patience, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye.